this is Laurie of Laurie's Heirloom Sewing, and today I'm going to start on the capri pants. So if you've been watching me, thank you, by the way, and if you're new here, welcome. And what I've been doing is creating day wear from pajamas and robes. This is a Santee, S-A-N-T-E-E fabric that I purchased on Amazon. And then I have a David's Textiles fabric that I plan to use for the cuffs. I'm going to do a cuffed, kind of a cuffed leg down there. Here we go. So that will be the print that is at the bottom of the leg. So you can kind of imagine. Now her favorite color is green. So let's get this all together here. And if you're a regular watcher of my videos, you know that my pattern pieces will be easy to locate because I always fold them with the numbers out. I'm just going to go ahead and get these legs put back together. Okay, so now I am going to go ahead and just shorten this up based on this line right here. This is where you would either shorten or lengthen the pant leg. And I could tell just from looking at it that these would swallow me lengthwise. So I'm going to go ahead and fold this up. Like so. And I'm going to use a pin rather than tape. I don't particularly like to use pins because I always end up getting stabbed, but I have to measure the inseam. And I don't want that coming undone. Okay, and then I also have to shorten it up here by doing the same thing. Okay, so let's see what our actual inseam prior to cutting is. So if we go right up here, we're looking for her actual is 28, which is down here. Stop the presses. I think what I have figured out from what I'm reading is that I need to rethink the whole idea of capris. Because evidently if you are a shorter person, it can be a little bit tricky to fit them so that they look just right. And since I'm 2,000 miles away, and it seems to take first-class mail over a week, it would be ridiculous for me to send these half-made, have her try them on, measure by herself, turn around, have her put them in an envelope, mail them back, give me with measurements for me to do, and then have her try them on again. It's just far. So you know what I'm going to do? I'm just going to make a pair of pants. I think I have enough fabric. And that'll be kind of a surprise, unless she watches this video, in which case it won't be a surprise. So what I'm going to do, I do want to cuff these. Okay guys, so I got the pattern kind of cut down, probably about one size. option. We are supposed to open up this fabric, selvage to selvage. Easier because I trimmed a good size. Like I said, it was about one whole size down. So let's just see. Oh, the dust is starting to get to me. Ooh, I don't know. I'm going to do it exactly the same way that I did the front, and we'll see if that is an option. Goodness. Okay. It does look like we're going to manage to get both pieces in one cut, which is nice. Look at all that fabric I have left for another fun project. I do like this color, it's really pretty. As far as greens go, it's just kind of a pure green. My advice, if you are having a hard time getting your pattern pieces cut out so that notches match and so forth, my recommendation with that is, I mean, there's a couple things it could be. One, it could be your cutting skills. Two, I mean, some of us are just way more precise than others. I'm not that precise. The other thing could be the fabric might be crooked, your pattern might not be pinned on correctly, or it's just what it is sometimes. But the best thing to do is, if you have a hard time with that, if it's just consistent all the time, chronic, not matching, don't mark your notches, your dots, or anything until you have both or all three pieces cut out. And then line them up the way that they're supposed to be together, with a notch on here and a notch on here. Find those notches, and then with the pattern piece still attached, just put those two pieces together like you would be doing if you were doing a seam, and mark, you know, the closest, whichever. If one is, like, you know, up here by 1/4 of an inch and this one's off by 1/8 of an inch, just split the difference and make a mark in the middle. At least the two pieces will match. It's not the ideal way, of course, but it will keep you from, you know, going crazy. I know I have that problem sometimes. Okay, now I'm just going to go snip and snip. I cut that notch to the outside. Sometimes it can be the scissors that you're using. bent handle 8-inch dressmaker shears are, for me, they're the best. I'm going to see if I can find those. What did I do with those yesterday, guys? Oh, here they are. Okay, so this is a bent handle. As you can see, you can, because there's a bend right here, and that sometimes will help with accuracy. The length of the blade is also a helpful thing. So these overall are 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, and the blade is 3. Well, 3 1/4, 3 1/8. They're 3 1/8 inches. That means that you've got I almost cut my finger. You've got 3 1/8 inch, cutting ability, but that's also not a whole lot, which can sometimes be good. These scissor tails, they're 3 7/8. I sometimes really had, when this was a fabric pair, I had a really hard time with these. I stabbed holes in things by accident, trying to deal with the length. They are bent. They are a bent handle, but they aren't as, the bend isn't quite as pronounced as this Ginger pair. So bent handle 8-inch dressmaking shears might be your best friend. Might be something for you to consider. I don't have a whole lot of luck with rotary cutters. If I'm cutting knit, that's really about the only time I find myself really wishing I had a pair of rotary, or a rotary blade. I don't mind using them, but I feel like I have more control with a good sharp pair of scissors. If I've got scissors, I can make a long cut, or I can do little. I don't know how long these are. These are right at 3. They're about 3 1/8. A Ginger pair. They have this, it's almost like an upside down curve as opposed to the bent handle, which would be on this part of the handle. These have that little curve across the top, and I find that intriguing. I don't know what purpose that serves, but I don't find that there's any issue with it. It's just intriguing. But just go slow. Don't go too fast. Take your time. Okay, I need to mark that one right there. Okay, so we have the front leg and the back leg, and both pattern pieces are still attached. So what I meant by marking the notches after you have cut things out is leave patterns on. Okay, so you know that you're going to be matching up this. So take these two pieces, because you know where they're supposed to be based on where they are on the pattern. If you remove them, then you're likely not going to be able to line them up correctly if they're not correctly aligned on the fabric. So see, I've got this notch for the front, oops. And this notch for the back, and they're just right there lined up where they're supposed to be once I get all these pieces of pattern off. So you can then take a marking pen or a pair of scissors or however you want to mark, and just, you know, make some kind of visible something that you'll see. Obviously, you know, be careful, use either a heat erase pen or chalk or something. Mark both pieces. Make sure they're getting marked in the same place, of course. And then look for other notches that you know you're going to need to be matching up. Like these right here are supposed to match up when you do this inside leg seam. And before you know it, if you take off this pattern piece, you're not going to be able to correctly align those notches. So do it before you remove the pattern piece. And then, of course, if you see some kind of big mess that you're going to have to fix before you take the pattern off, that's when you do it, right? Okay, I'm not really seeing much of anything. The back leg should be slightly longer than the front leg for that rounded little hem that you have to do. Okay, and then in the case of the pants, I think that's it. Oh, there's an inside crotch right here. So I'm going to have to draw a line to get this, since it's hiding behind this fold for petites. Okay, so I've got a line drawn right there. And I'm going to match up this line that I just drew with these notches right here and see if I'm able to keep everything else aligned. There, those notches are lined up. Alright, so the one in the front was slightly off, and so for that reason I am going, well, actually it's not. It's a double notch, so I only had one part of that notch matched. Okay, so now all I have to do is just finish. Okay, ta-da, I guess. I mean, for me, this is an important tip, I guess. So I'm going to see if I can get you moved in a little bit. Okay. So here is the inner leg seam, just outside of the crotch, right there. And as you can see, I had to adjust for her height, so this has been folded up to make these the petite size. Okay, same thing on the front, and then if I fold this over, because the notch on the front side has been obscured by the fold on the pattern piece right here, see? It's in there, but you can't see it. Ah, there it is, right there. So it's hard to see, especially when you're cutting out. I didn't know it was there. So now all I have to do is get everything else lined up. Line up this notch and that notch. They're lined up. It looks like these are lined up. Maybe slide that down just a little bit. And then just mark my fabric with this heat erase pen. So, I don't know, that's where that inside leg notch is. So now everything is marked, and then I can come back and take all the pattern pieces off, and I know everything is perfect and ready to start sewing. I'll be back in a bit. Okay guys, so I'm back. I'm looking at thread. This just happens to be the thread choices that I have. So in looking at these threads, I'm going to take the flashlight on my phone. This is kind of the way I do it. Okay, and I'm going to squint my right eye. And I'm going to see, so right away I can see that this is a no-no. I don't like it. I didn't think I would, but you know. You see, at first I kind of liked this one. It's kind of a khaki color that is picking up some of the tone in the background of the blender fabric. But I don't know. I'm going to set that one over here and give this one a look. This one is actually not bad. It's truly more, I know that this may not be showing up for you, but there is sort of this olive green mix, which isn't bad at all. Okay, so I'll set this one aside. And then of course this would just be a contrast green. It's clearly darker. I just want to make sure it's the same value. And it's actually not. So I think we're going to go with the khaki color thread. I don't mind that it's not a true match. I think it's kind of an interesting color, and it does fade into this khaki-ish, olive greenish color in the background of this blender fabric. So now I need to see, and right away I can tell I don't have a bobbin with this, so I'll just go ahead and create one. Do the stitching again. Time to press. All right, so indeed, if you have made the shorts with me, then you know the next step is to put right sides together, and we're going to do that inside back, inside front, and crotch. So we're going to stitch all the way front, crotch area, back, and then we're going to reinforce the crotch area by stitching again and then grade the seam allowance within that crotch area. Okay, so that's a blanket stitch right there. And it's nice as a reinforcing stitch. Alrighty, so until the pocket fabric arrives, I'm going to have to put this project on hold. Okay guys, here's the second half of the video I was telling you about for 3 Acre Lake Gardening. My daughter, who lives in Washington, is painting the water feature that I was using So we decided to go with white because that's a little bit more Versailles. I think it's turning out really, really good. I love it. She's doing a good job. This is the original color. And this is the new color. Oh. Okay, that's the paint we're using. It's Rust-Oleum brand Painter's Touch 2x Ultra Cover Paint Plus Primer Gloss White. I didn't buy it. It was actually here in the house when we moved here. But it's non-sponsored. I'm not sponsored by Rust-Oleum. So anyway, we're going to see what it does. Thank you. Okay, so we decided we're going to paint the little bird too. So she's going to move it and out into the painting area. So here's a hack. If you have one of those little poke in the ground things, that's a perfect way to keep your grass from getting all painted. Pretty cool. Okay, there's before. Okay, we're getting ready to paint the basin. It'll be painted the same color as the bottom part of this interesting Tuscany looking bird bath, I guess is what this is. This paint is really doing a good job. If I were doing a review on paint, this would get definite 5 out of 5. It's covering amazing. And it's a pretty bright white. Oops.
It is pretty. Wow, you like it?
I like it. I do. I think the paint has definitely changed the way the whole feel of it, you know. It went from looking like sort of a Southwest design and more of what I was looking for, more of a Versailles-like design. Okay. Okay, so we decided to, or Jessica decided to paint the hole that the bird is suspended on a different color, and I found this really pretty green in the garage. It's a Valspar paint. Uh-oh. Apparently it likes Jessica.
Real? Oh, sweetie.
We're gonna have green dogs.
Yeah.
Ooh, is it just being weird?
No, it's good.
It looks kind of heavy, like it's falling rather than
I think it's working.
the grass.
What to do is
Sort of a verdigris. Oh yeah, the artistic. Oh, that looks really cute. Yeah, I do. I like that a lot. That's a much more fun looking little iron statue of some sort. Bam. Oh, is that what you were waiting for? What do you think, Rubu? What do you think?
Oh, that looks really good, doesn't it?
Okay, guys, so when we first moved in, we found a whole bunch of yard art. I don't know what else to call it. I mean, the white water feature right there that Jessica just painted was here, as was this, and that was actually buried in Shade Palace over here in kind of that area. And I started digging around and found that thing. So I don't like the green ceramic look, and I found some bronze colored paint. It's another Rust-Oleum. Here, you hold it. It's a Rust-Oleum Universal Advanced Formula Metallic Paint and Primer, all in one. It does not actually say ceramic, but we're going to give it a go, and it's called Aged Copper. We're gonna paint that with that and see what happens, and I'll show you when we're done. Okay, so there is the water feature that used to be kind of a Tuscan red, is now white. I think it looks really, really good. I'm gonna wait and show you the turtle. It's amazing. So you'll see that in a minute. Okay guys, so far we got the bird put back where the bird goes. There's the water doohickey. There's the turtle. Look at that. That's a dog tail. That's the turtle. See how cute? And then we moved little Missy. Last time I did a tour, she was back there. And she's now in Shade Palace. But look what Jessica did to the begonia pot. It looks like concrete. So yes, you can paint a plastic pot that's black with white. Just kind of give it a light dusting and you have concrete, which, you know, is preferred. So there you go. I'm very happy.